expressed by the Love of the Game pod are their opinions and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of SUBTV, its sponsors, or affiliates.
It's go time, fellas.
Yes, sir.
It's go time. I did all the crying and all the ugly facing I'm going to do for the day.
Man.
To all those tuning in and did not watch the first episode, check this is a 2-part episode as we open season 2. Part 1, we open with talking about the great, now late, Kobe Bryant. So we did our best. Please don't ask me to go through that again, but we did our best. So please go see that with our thoughts about Kobe and trying to do our best to pay proper respect to his greatness. I'll say that. So thoughts and prayers with everybody in LA. Thoughts and prayers to every fan of Kobe. Coach, we will toss to you and anything that you have to say to the basketball family as we mourn the loss of a legend.
Yeah, I got that news today, and for my age, it was like Len Bias. You know?
Yeah.
I remember exactly where I was. I was working Davidson College basketball camp when Len Bias died, and I grew up in the D.C. area. So very similar reaction for me. My players were actually coming out of a team meeting when it happened. So, it was shocking. Like my age, Len Bias is the best comparison, I think.
100%. I think that's a perfect comparison too. Yeah. Perfect comparison.
Yeah, and I think with me too, because I didn't get a chance to speak on the first show. But
We missed you?
yeah, there's nothing new. Y'all always miss me.
Oh. I'm not running. Hey, I'm not the point guard here.
I know. Hey, Mondre the point guard. Mondre doesn't give me the ball. Mondre doesn't give me the ball.
Mondre ain't kicking it out.
No, he's not kicking it. He's just driving.
Looking you off.
Jelly, doing the jelly. But no, there's me, and I think with Bryce too, as kids growing up in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, we did watch Jordan.
Yeah.
But we got like the latter part of his
Right.
So it was Kobe who was
Kobe.
next. And I don't know if you did it, Bryce, but I was the one. I used to cut my socks, like get the long socks so I could have me a sleeve on my leg, like what Kobe used to do.
I didn't do that.
Like the whole neighborhood used to do that. And I just think, like with the impact for us, with that happened with Kobe Bryant, we lost a part of our childhood.
We lost a part, yeah.
And stuff just when he won those first 3 state championships, you know. I'm still hurt that when he lost with Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
To Detroit.
Yeah, to Detroit. Like I still have nightmares about that. But
And that was the only time I wanted Kobe to lose, to be honest with you.
really,
Yeah, because I didn't like that they brought in
Karl and Gary Payton.
I thought it was too much. But you're right. Like you talk about y'all era. You think about most NBA players are that era. So how hard is it hitting those?
Yeah, it hurt. Nah, it
that's
hurts.
their era.
Yeah.
Like Kobe's them.
This
Yeah,
hurts. This
That's
is
what they grew up
tough.
with. That's the-
Everybody's
that's the
favorite
dude.
player, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook.
I mean, like like you said, we watched Mike, and like we were younger. You know what I mean? And then when he was retiring, that was the back end. But like Kobe, like I saw Kobe from the beginning
1996
to the last game of his, his kind of last lap thing, that whatever they called it. Like I saw the whole thing, and I really didn't miss a beat. You know what I mean? Like I was not missing Kobe. Like I wasn't gonna miss it. Wasn't gonna miss it. So,
Mama mentality. Shout outs. Let's get to it. For our family, we're gonna start off how we normally do. Let's try to get back to remembering Kobe in some phase of normality. To my left, former state champion, future state champion.
are we back?
Yeah, we back.
I'm trying. My brother from Ben Hill, Ben Real. The newly minted head coach. Not necessarily so newly. You almost threw your first
It's
season.
almost a whole year.
I mean, but how long does the honeymoon period last?
It's
it's
over.
over.
It's over. It's over.
It's over.
It's over.
As soon as that first loss hit, it's over.
Got you. Point taken. the head coach of the Holy Innocents Episcopal School, Golden Bears, 805 Prime.
There you go.
Homie Big Huff, what's going on, man?
Oh, man, it's all good. I remember when I was a coach in the SWAC. Please don't say anything, Dip. I used to say, it's SWAC time, baby. It's region tournament time coming up. In about a week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All the marbles coming up in about a week in high school basketball.
Yep.
It is. And we're going to get into that. We're going to get into all of that because we have a guest that's going to help us understand the difference between preparing for your non-conference schedule versus your conference or your region schedule. How to maybe y'all coaches might be able to take some tidbits, man. Might save you in the conference tournament, man. You might want to listen up a little bit. To my right, Creekside assistant coach. Let's say that first and foremost. Respect the Creekside. Trust the process.
TTP.
TTP.
He probably somewhere making a highlight tape right now.
Yo.
He's the king of highlight tapes.
Yo. Hey,
That was
coach,
a
make
shot.
Bryce run
That wasn't no
suicides
shot.
with the
He
team.
is.
Make
That
Bryce
was
run
a shot.
suicides with the team,
That
coach.
was a shot.
He drops
He drops
a
big drops.
mixtape faster than the mixtape dudes who
Hey,
actually
but
do
he's
it for
good
you.
at it.
Yeah. TikToks and all that,
man.
everything.
The man that had $1 million worth of scholarships touch his hand over the past summer, one of the hottest head coaches for 17U on the independent circuit throughout the whole summer. Head guys, leave the shoe circuit, 0 offers, come and play with him on the independent platform, 20-plus offers. Am I right?
Yeah.
We right?
Yeah.
DMV's on.
Yes, sir.
We're going to understand why Baltimore is not part of DMV today.
Coach might be able to help you out. I'm very trying to, I can't explain it. Now, but what I will say is, since the Ravens have come along and the Redskins have just took a turn for the worse. Look.
So you wanted him.
No, I'm not. Listen.
So you wanted him.
No. Listen. For 30 some odd years, I have been a Redskins fan, and I have been let down over and over again.
Change the name of the team.
Hey,
Good.
man. You sound like a Falcons fan.
So,
Hold your horses.
Baltimore, now,
I was waiting for her.
hey, now, Baltimore's still in Maryland.
Oh, now Baltimore's in Maryland. Okay.
It is.
What's up about Baltimore?
Bryce Williams, what's good, bro? B. Williams, what's good? We're not.
Nothing, man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not with him. Baltimore is still in Maryland after he told me.
I fly into BWI so I can wear the hoodies and such. Only reason I didn't get one is because they were sold out for Christmas. Because I'm just saying, I'll be wearing it on here, but sold out.
That's me sleeping on Bryce. To my far left, South Georgia's favorite son. The South Georgia
South got something to say.
evangelist, the South Georgia apologist. I know, Locke, all of your fans are so upset because we did not do South Got Something to Say on the last episode. You're going to get it right now. Keep watching.
I be telling y'all, man, don't pass me the ball. Be sitting there like this, hands ready and everything.
Somebody's going to have to ask, how many shots does he want? Anyway.
I need a Zarco green light, bro.
Oh. Whoa.
Hold on. Well, we know Mosley watching right now.
Yeah.
We know Coach is watching right now.
Whoa.
My phone is about to
Hold on.
explode.
Zaco got the green light like that?
Listen.
He's efficient, though.
Owner-operator.
Don't miss much.
I'm pushing the pace now. Owner-operator of Lightsway Hoops. The owner and operator of the best
Running the East Coast. We the
freshman camp all day. Pass ahead. Lay up long. The owner-operator of the best freshman camp in the world, Craig. The Freshman U Camp. Get your freshmen exposed one way or another, either exposed to national media or exposed on the floor because there's so much talent.
Exactly.
Scout, talent evaluator for On the Radar Hoops. Big Lock, what up?
Yo, Lots Way is the only way, man. Season 2, episode 1, we here.
Hey, Lock, what you rocking? The shoes, bro. Like,
Those are hyper dunks, right?
Man, I forgot what
You don't even know the names. No,
Hey.
they're hyper
I brought these out the
something.
vault, man. I brought these out the vault.
Those came out when we were in high school.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
They're super light
Last time
though.
you wore them?
Huh? When I coached at McKeachern.
That's McKeachern Blue right there. That's McKeachern Blue.
That was last time. These be my coaching shoes.
McKeachern
These be
Blue.
my coaching shoes.
Wow.
He did say he had a lot of coach shoes at Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
He's been
Here we
jumping
go.
around.
Coach, you see what I got to deal with over here, man? They make my job hard.
Lock,
Yes,
can
they
you
do.
Lock?
You were a great
can you
point guard in your time. They make
Lock.
my job as a point guard
ask
tough on this team.
ask
I'm
Lock
telling
if he
you.
can update us on his most recent coaching within the last weekend? Who he is?
Oh man.
Lock sat back on the sidelines.
Oh!
Oh no! Wait! We getting there. We getting there. I'm not even gonna ask him what offense, defense, and we getting there. But I gotta introduce our guest.
I coached one game this weekend, and it was 8, 9-year-olds.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm weak.
Now, to my left, we get to the man that has more wins than all of us combined, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That has seen and played and probably forgotten more basketball in his sleep on the ride up than what I've ever known. Over 70% or almost 70% of your games are won for your entire 25-year career. Y'all better know what it is about these Augusta Jaguars, man. You better understand what it is out here. Coach Dip, Demetrius, great to have you on the show, brother. I appreciate you for coming.
I appreciate you having me. Think about Baltimore. There are point guards and there are points guards. So when I recruited our point guard, his high school coach, Klatch, says, Dip, he's a point guard. He's not a points guard.
Hello.
So I'm thinking you're a points guard? Is that what they're saying?
Oh.
That's what I've been accused of,
Now,
Coach.
Yeah, you're not-
you are spot on.
Oh,
You are spot on.
Danny Stubbs.
Hey, he will go rogue and go Colin Sexton on you sometimes, bro.
Coach, I'm just trying to win, bro. I'm just trying to win.
He gonna
Coach.
pull up
That's
from
all.
half court on you.
I'm just trying to win.
Points.
That's great. 8 points,
I like
dog.
it.
That's an excellent.
That's a
Reality.
best way.
I like that.
That is the reality. It is.
Well, I'm going to throw another one at you, not to interrupt you, but I played in high school. I was 1 year behind Tommy Amaker, who went to Duke.
Oh wow.
And Tommy Amaker was a point guard.
Yeah.
Okay, I was a point guard. They don't exist anymore, I don't think. Or they're hard to
tough to
find.
find.
They're hard
I'll
to
tell you
find.
that.
They're hard to
They're
find.
hard to find. So, in an era where points are celebrated tremendously, I still look for a point guard. Imagine that. So they're not easy to find as well.
Hope you're listening, kids.
100%. Learn how to run a pick and roll.
Learn how to run a team.
Right. Facilitate.
Be vocal.
That's all facts.
Defend your position.
Hey, that's all
Guard
facts.
the ball.
Well, we ain't talking about Andre then. Dre.
Damn.
Hey man, Locke give me a hard time, bro.
Hey, but his son plays really good on ball defense. I say
That's
that.
his son. That's not him.
I'm just saying. He was in the freshman U camp. He was locking kids up.
No, he was.
Got a few dubs for me.
He
I'm
was.
just gonna take it. I mean, you know, what else can
That's
I
what
do,
good
Coach?
leadership
That's,
does.
hey man, thank you, Coach.
Accept criticism.
That's what a good point guard does. It's on me to make us successful. I got to get there. Our first segment of the show, Coach, what we always do, we call it doing work. We try to celebrate guys or kind of laugh with them at times who are doing things at the next level. And since you are here representing a Division II powerhouse that does beat Division I's kids, don't have Coach Dip come and recruit you, and
And
then
you blow him off.
and then you go commit to a D1 and he smack y'all the next year. Don't, like, it happens, but don't do that. Don't check the record. Anyway, Jordan Floyd, we got this video for Jordan Floyd that we want to show for our doing work segment. We celebrate kids at every level, so we do want to celebrate kids at the D2 level from Georgia that are doing work. Locke, anything we want to say
Hey,
about this kid?
so Jordan Floyd
I passed it
is
on.
leading college basketball in scoring, and I mean not just Division II. He's leading Division I, all levels, averaging 29, like 0.5 points a game. And the great thing, I built a relationship with Jordan over the years, but out of high school, he only had 2 offers. He played for Westover out of Albany, Georgia. Mm-hmm. He had Albany State and Morehouse. Mm. He went to Albany State, and the coach hated him. Mm. The coach is not there anymore. And the kid transferred to Kings College out in Tennessee, a Division II school, and he's just going off. Like the game we were about to watch, this way he had like 45. And he done this 3 or 4 times this season. 45 points a game. So his popcorn is popping. Yeah. So I think that tells you anybody can play at any level. Because I feel like at Division I level, he was a low major to mid-major coming out of high school. But he just didn't have that platform. Didn't play ANU much, down in South Georgia. Coaches don't want to make that trip, unfortunately, down there. But we're going to see this kid get paid. Just look into the highlight.
It's going to be my first time seeing this kid.
Oh. Lead the nation.
That's tough. That's tough, okay. Guys really ain't finishing in traffic like that no more.
Off 2 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Say that again.
I'm a coach.
I preach that every day.
2 plays off 2 feet.
Jump stop much anymore.
Oh, that's cash.
Smooth, too.
That is smooth. I like that. I like that.
Mid-range pull-up.
Oh, we shoot mid-ranges now. Yeah. Okay, young fella.
No, and this kid killed the AEBL.
Oh,
He played in that, averaging 20.
That's a good bucket. That's a good bucket. I like that. I see you, young fella. Got it back. Relocated.
Bam.
Didn't admire that pass. Relocated, found an open spot.
Are you glad you don't have to coach against him?
Did.
Yeah, he plays for a great college coach. He used to be a high school coach. George Pitts used to play him a few years ago. And George is a great high school coach in Tennessee. Older guy, but he's a good player. You can tell that right away.
Guys just don't understand what type of talent is at the Division II level. Mm-hmm.
But can't you see he's moving without the ball?
With the steal.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
He was nice. He's nice.
Coach, watching film of that kid kind of reminded me of watching film when I started watching film preparing for this show of your team. Seeing guys, like you said, play off of 2 feet. Mm-hmm. I saw you guys finish a lot in traffic, like tough shots where you see guys catching a post, turn face, make a move, and be able to finish with a hand in their face, or being able to finish, like you said, in traffic with either hand. You guys seem to do that pretty well. Is that something that people have a misconception of how good the Division II level is? Is that something that y'all work on every day? Or are you getting kids in?
Yeah, well, the first thing new players always adjust to is if you're going to shoot over your right shoulder, you got to use your left hand. It's a foreign concept nowadays, So playing off 2 feet, being able to use both hands, huge. Guys want to finish on 1 foot, which is great in transition, but when you get in traffic, you got to be able to play through contact and got to be able to use both hands. If you're going to be a good player, especially the way the game's played nowadays with attacking, I would argue these shots people take nowadays. When you were playing, we were encouraged not to take these shots, Right. But the ability to get to the rim and get to the free throw line is huge. No question.
Is that something that you guys always look to do? Is it more so playing inside? Now you got a couple of shooters there too, Coach. Like you got a kid that can light it up from out there. But what's your preference?
Well, we're a little different now. We're going to play inside out. I'm a dinosaur. Okay, we got not 1 post, we got 2 posts. Okay,
like the traditional.
Yeah,
bigs.
we're looking for the old-fashioned 3-point play. The game is now with the stretch 4, which is a big term. Yep. Last year we were fortunate to win our regular season conference title. The team we played in the championship had 2 posts. We had 2 posts. People who played in the semifinals had 2 posts. The team we played in the postseason had 2 posts. Posts are important, okay?
Absolutely.
And I know people want to spread the 4 and shoot threes, but late in the game, you got to get a bucket. You got to go inside, and play through contact. So, nothing against guys that can stretch the floor because those are talented players, but it seems like late in the year those stretch 4s always hit the front of the rim and it goes out the other way a lot of times. Yeah. So, the game's played 1,000 different ways, but we do encourage putting the ball in the post, and especially with our skill set we have this year.
For sure. I got the big fella that we're going to talk about here a little bit later. One of the things I'm interested in your perspective is just during your time in coaching and how the game has changed a little bit. We got a video from Coach Calipari where he is addressing his game versus University of Georgia. He has a highly touted player, Tyrese Maxey, and he's explaining to everyone why Tyrese Maxey was not guarding
Ant-Man.
Edwards.
Yeah, I remember the interview.
And I want to show this video to our viewers, and we'll talk about what Coach Calipari said. Let's take a look and listen to Coach Calipari's comments.
And also be that two-way scorer tonight. Well, the reason I did it is down there, he scored on Tyrese a couple times, and Tyrese laughed with him like they were in an AAU game. Don't even go near him. Emmanuel, you got him. And if you don't have him, then Ashton has him. And that was why, because this ain't for funsies.
I love it. Coach is essentially saying, hey, look, Anthony Edwards scored on you in the last game, and you kind of slapping 5s and smiling and joking about it. You're never going to go near that guy again. Nope. You can get the matchup quickly. You can get the matchup, or Ashton, you can take the matchup. Coach, have you seen that as something that has changed over the years, or was that something that you were dealing with before? Because AAU is not new.
No.
But
no,
has the competitive spirit necessarily changed, you think, in your years of coaching?
That's a tough, people know each other more because of the ability with phones. You used to have to call the house to get somebody, okay? So, you can communicate text, FaceTime, everything. So there is a connection between players that didn't exist, especially I've been head coach 24 years, that didn't exist. But, when you draw and you're out in the court, like, you got to leave all that stuff alone. Like, I had a kid last year, guy hit 2 threes, and he said, good shot. I'm like, yo, like, stop him. Like, don't slap him on the butt. Like, I took him out of the game. I'm like, yeah, it's a good shot. Stop him, So it's a tough call. I mean, I think because kids know each other. I really do. I think they know, through the expansion of AAU or, even college players, they know they can pull up stats on a team 2 minutes after a game. They can see their own stats. They can see the guys' competition stats. So there is so much more information nowadays, which opens things up more. But, you play to win the game. I'm sorry. I mean, you gotta win the game. Okay, they're keeping score for a reason. Okay, that is very frustrating. You see the lack of competitiveness, and I don't want to blame it on AAU because I think that's unfair. While they're playing 5 games a day. I grew up playing outside. We played 5 games a day. But you sat. You sat when you lost. Okay, and and you're outside too, so it's not like you're inside with the air conditioning. So, basketball is just a different animal nowadays. And there's a lot of positives. You get to play against good players. Like Dante said, South Georgia kids don't get seen as much. They get in the AAU circuit, people see them. The ability to play with good players is an adjustment for all high school kids when they go to college. Sometimes, if you're the best player in your high school team, you've never played with good players.
Exactly.
So that's a huge adjustment. So it's a tough call. But man, when we're keeping score. Like,
100%.
Win the game.
That's what I loved about the kids that we had on in the first episode. The kids headed over to Kennesaw State. When they say, when we scrimmage in practice, every time we scrimmage, you might be breaking up a fight.
Yeah.
Like,
it was a war.
Hey, and that's how I came up too, Coach.
Yep.
Look, I played against my family members, and if we rolled out of basketball, I all went back there and played right now. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want any – like, it's not okay. You scoring on me is not okay ever. Like, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. But no, I would want guys with me who don't want to get
We
scored
keep
on
it
either.
score,
You better not
man.
laugh.
Yeah.
I'm competitive.
100%.
Spades, bowling.
Checkers, yes. I 100%. I'm with that. Maybe I'm a dinosaur too. Cause I want guys that's gonna compete. Coach, we went to a game this weekend, and I just would love to understand your take on it. Me and the fellas, Huff, I think you were out coaching. You were out getting
A dub.
another dub.
Another tub.
But me, Locke, and Bryce went to a high school game this weekend.
We was at 2 games, actually.
We did. We're at 2 games.
Well,
one where we felt like the refs did not interfere. One where I personally felt like, I'll get their take, but Wheeler, Milton, to me, I feel like the refs just completely muddied up the game. I made a comment on Twitter where I said this is the worst officiated game that I've ever seen. Now, I'm not going to go so far as to say that the officials cost Wheeler the game. I don't know if the game had been officiated properly, that Milton would not have still won the game. So I'm not saying that. I'm saying that I felt like we were robbed from seeing 2 teams play and fight it out on the floor. That was my take on it. I did want to understand your standpoint, Coach, of are there certain officiating crews that you don't have to mention by name, but are there certain times?
I've been in trouble enough for this.
Slippery slope.
Are there certain times, Coach, where you walk in and you know that, man, I may have to change my game plan a little bit, or how do you handle that as a coach?
Well, you got to address the game is going to be called differently every game. Sometimes you get more veteran crews, sometimes you don't. The problem as coaches we have is when it's called a certain way in the first half and it's called a different way in the second half. And as a coach, just be consistent, And years ago in one of these seminars we all have to go to as coaches and videos and you watch all this stuff. A very great line. Call the foul and call the first foul and the players will react. If you let the first foul go, that's when things get crazy. The frustrating part as a coach, and I know you, Gabriel, you probably dealt with this, we don't call it all game. And with 4 minutes to go,
We call it.
we break out an illegal screen call that hadn't been called all game, or a hand check, or a wall up in the post. So you have to adjust to the whistle. I want to go back to 2 referees. Okay. My rationale, you get better chance of getting 2 good ones if you have 3 out there. I mean, you increase your chance. So if you have,
that is perfect because there was 3 referees at that game at Wheeler,
100%.
and one of them
was doing the most.
He wanted to be the star of the
He
show.
was doing the
He wanted to
most.
make sure everybody knew that he was in the building.
Oh my
2 decent refs, 2
goodness.
good refs, and 1
well,
bad
if you
ref.
think
That's
about
perfect.
if you have, let's say, 26 schools in Cobb County, that's 13 games that they all play in the
Day.
county. That's
Yeah.
39 referees
That's a,
refereeing.
Yeah.
that's a
Well,
lot. Yeah.
Get 26, you're going to get a chance to get better referees.
Better refs, yeah.
You
But
narrow
they'll
it
tell you
down.
how the physicality of the game and the areas and all that stuff. So I'm really odd on that one. I don't think it's officiating differently. I think they have areas now. It's just, they're making a lot of money.
I think you said it best. Consistency. Just
Yes.
be consistent. If I know, all right, this person's going to call hand checking first quarter, we can adjust.
Yeah.
But as Zip said, if you're not calling it all the way into the 4-minute mark and then I get a hand check call, I'm going to be upset. Because you hadn't called that the whole game.
And in my limited experience as an AAU coach, right, and I feel like we see it even worse sometimes when it comes to AAU.
Yes, you do.
My issue is even with the officials within the crew, if you guys aren't consistent. Y'all should be on. I've had officials tell me, man, that's him. He shouldn't have called that. No, y'all supposed to be on the same
court, yeah.
Y'all should at least be on the same page within the crew. Do you guys have guys that want to be stars from an officiating standpoint?
I call them spotlight. They want to be in the spotlight.
They want
to be in the spotlight, and come run out of the area, call some calls. You're like, well, why are you calling that? They're spotlight, just like they're spotlight players or spotlight referees sometimes. So it's part of what.
Move up, Coach.
Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Quickly. Sometimes you get rewarded by the fouls you call. I think. So, it's we have this unique thing because we got the 7-foot guy.
Yep.
And this is my second time having a 7-foot guy. And it's the same thing. You let people grab him and hold him, It's gonna be hard for him to. It's gonna be hard for him to play through contact.
It's funny growing up. Shaq used to say that.
Yeah.
When I was like, "What is Shaq? He's not." I mean, come on.
They're hanging all over
When
the
you actually have a guy that's big, they get fouled almost
Every
time.
Everybody. Yep. Absolutely.
And we're talking about Tyshawn Crawford.
Griffin High School.
Griffin High
Griffin
School's
High
own.
Griffin Grasshopper.
Yep.
I go way back there. Yeah.
They're hanging all over that kid.
Yeah.
They're hanging all over that kid. Coach, when we talk about, we were talking about earlier today too, and I wanted to get your perspective on this. We were talking about evaluating talent. And there was a video from George Ward, who is a high school coach up in Detroit for Martin Luther King High School in Detroit. And we played the video, and I'll just sum it up for you. His thoughts were essentially that the best time he felt like his players were being slighted, that their AAU teams or that AAU was doing his players a disservice, and that he really wanted college coaches to go back to the high school gyms and evaluate more at the high school level, because he felt like, you know, guys are watching film, guys are prepared, and you're going to see a certain level of play. Coach Huff weighed in, all of us weighed in, but definitely.
I didn't weigh in. You didn't pass me the ball.
Points.
I'm just putting it out there.
I have
I'm just
to
putting
literally
it out
walk
there.
over and put the ball in
No,
Lock's lap.
no,
I can't say
no.
fellas respond.
No.
Nah, Locke ain't a bucket like that.
Shoot. Hey, man.
He's a
hey,
driver.
You
If
said
I
you
give
wanted
you
to
the
hear
ball and you kick it back out,
you said you
must
wanted to hear
didn't
from the
want
high
it.
school coaches, so I said, all right,
he
cool.
did say
He
that.
did not say that.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, Locke, what you got to say?
Yeah, Locke, go ahead. What you got?
Well, on that, I just feel, with me being a South Georgia guy, I don't see guys go for 30 and 40, like when they single A and double A ball. But when the college coach tell me, I'm like, well, coach, I really don't know how good he really is, because he's not playing anybody at those levels. Like, yeah, because then when they go on the circuit, he's not doing 30 or 40, he's doing 8. And so that'll get you fired. And so I just feel, and another thing, like what that high school said, I just feel like with college coaches, it's easier to watch AAU because you can watch more games. Yeah, you can sit there, you can look at a kid that court, you can look at a kid this court, you look at a kid this court. Instead of, you got to drive another 3-4 hours to watch one high school game.
Yeah, I love the coaches who sit like
In between?
the far court.
The far court,
they
yeah.
Really watching court one. I like that. I like how the
Yeah, so
you know who I'm really looking at.
So, Coach, give us the tricks of the trade there. I guess number one, let's start with what's your preference when you go see a play?
It's a tough one because my brother's a high school coach in D.C. area. He's won his 500th game. I believe in high school coaches, okay? Not that I don't believe in AAU coaches.
Right.
They're with them 24 hours a day. They know them. They know how they walk the halls. So I value their opinion more than most people do because they know them, okay?
Right.
You're right. Sometimes the competition's bad. Or for us, we go see a big kid play, gets banged with 2 fouls the first 2 possessions of the game. He's sitting on the side.
Sitting down.
So then you can't watch him. There are so many kids trying to play college basketball, trying to get an education. There are the social media guys trying to get recruited just through social media, even though we're in social media, that want to put every highlight out there.
Yeah.
So, like, to spur up interest on a kid. My athletic director, Clint Bryant, I worked with, has been in college coaching, he was at Clemson, Miami with Bill Foster. I have a saying I used to him, I'm going to put my eyes on him. Okay, so I'm going to literally put my eyes on him in a game, okay? Be it AAU, high school. I think sometimes as college coaches, we're doing ourselves an injustice by not watching them with their high school. Because especially if you're a point guard, we go back to point guard, how do they run their team? I mean, your high school coach, you go put together quick a lot of times. But the frustrating part for us is, I say this all the time, I could walk into an event, there'd be 300 kids there. I said, I could offer every one of these kids a scholarship. And nobody would take it. But they would take the University of Haiti located in Hell, if it's Division I. Okay? So the frustrating part, you go to an event, and you have all kinds of different events. I'm not saying the big-time AAU events, but you go to an event, there's 40 kids. But where's the Division I coaches? Well, the people that recruit you are the ones who are in the gym. watching you.
100%.
You know, I was in a game being in Baltimore. I was at high school. I'm not really saying where I was on Thursday night. In the gym was Rutgers assistant, Long Beach State assistant coach from Lincoln, head coach of Coppin State, and me. So I told the daddy afterwards, Rutgers is not there to see your son. They're there to see your teammate. And the guy looked at him. I said, man, this is the reality.
Just
of
reality.
It's real talk.
Me, and
I'm here to
and I don't even think Coppin was there to see him. Juan Dixon. You know,
Juan
explainer
Dixon,
from here.
yeah.
You know, and I think Juan was there to see the same guy Rutgers was looking at. So, you know, you're getting recruited when college coaches are in the gym, I think. You know, and I always tell kids, consider every school that offers you a scholarship, not every school that recruits you. Big difference.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Yes.
Big difference.
Yes.
You know, you lose a game, assistant coaches are burning up phones. You know, junior college kids are going to get recruited harder late. And people having rough years.
Yeah.
Coaches are like, hey, we got to find me a starter. We got to find a difference maker. So, you know, so there's a lot of benefits of AAU basketball. You know, I guess our starting point guard, Tyree Myers from Mount St. Joe's, led the EYBL in assists.
Really?
And nobody offered him a scholarship. Played for the Baltimore Stars.
That says
Because he's
lot.
a point guard. You know, and the Stars weren't as good when they went to the Peach Jam. So he's playing in the Peach Jam, which is 6 miles from my office. I don't even see him then. I'm over at another tournament. You know, not because I wasn't working, but I'm not getting those guys.
Not
in
getting
Peach
those
Jam.
guys.
You know,
Yeah.
them
Right.
guys ain't getting those guys.
Not even
Well,
gonna-
ironically, the starting point guard
Was there.
was there. Now, if it wasn't for his high school coach returning that phone call and saying, hey, he's about winning and playing ball, you know, that's two good things you want to hear from a point guard.
100%.
So there is no magic formula for this stuff. I mean, you know, you can spend no time, get a great player. You can spend a lot of time. You know, looking back on it, we recruited other kids harder than Tyree because we didn't know about him. And then when we got him, we're happy as can be. So it's a real odd dynamic. You know, I can tell the story about when I saw him in a gym.
Huff play basketball?
You know, he was working. He was working. I think it was December 27th. 27/7, we're out recruiting. And, you know, that's where I saw our starting two guard playing for South Miami. And I'm watching him play as a junior. I'm like, man, this guy's pretty good. You know, this is his junior year. I kind of circled his name. Follow up in the fall. Well, he's getting recruited by Stetson. He's getting recruited by North Florida. You know, no, he wasn't. But they made some calls. High school coach, Doc's a great guy. I got two of his guys now. But you can get seen, but, man, the follow-up. Like, I think parents really get confused. Yes. They think high school coaches have, or an AAU coach, has scholarships in their pocket. Like, you guys are the ones getting me that.
Yeah.
They think, well, you can get me this scholarship. No, they can't. Your production gets you that scholarship. And, I, you know, like I said, my brother's a high school coach, my roommate in college, my best man at my wedding's a high school coach. Like, they don't have scholarships. You know, they don't sign with me. They sign with Augusta University. Yeah. You know, they sign with me. Right. So I think people really get convoluted in this whole process. And, you know, it's tough. I mean, it's tough for our level. But, you know, I'm recruiting the guys that should be playing at Kennesaw. Kennesaw's recruiting the guys that should be playing at Georgia State. Georgia State's recruiting the guys that should be recruiting at Georgia. Yeah. So, you know, there's a couple kids around the area that I love to hear the mid-major coaches being mad at them. Well, they're mad because they're not getting them, okay, because they know the Power Fives are coming. Okay, well, I get mad at, you know, when Kennesaw State comes in on a kid because I know I'm not getting them now. So it's just part of this thing. There's no rhyme or reason. I've been fortunate enough to coach a lot of good players, and you know, there is no rhyme or reason to it.
One thing, Coach, that I see that you do, and I guess it makes sense now. You talk about your relationship with high school coaches. You guys get 4-year players.
Yeah.
Like you don't
for the most part, yep.
heavily depend on JUCO kids or transfer kids.
Yep.
What is that like as a new player, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, walking on the Augusta campus for the first day of practice?
Yeah.
Coach.
He's a great guy. They say, wait till he gets going now. And they all say it. Oh, he's a great guy. You know, he's going to get you now. He's going to get you. And it's an adjustment. There's no question. It's a big adjustment. First time I, you know, get into him pretty hard because I'm a demanding guy. And but I tell them on the visits, you know, off the floor I'm gonna be fine. On the floor I'm gonna demand accountability, and I'm gonna climb into you. But as soon as that practice is over, I'm good with it. You know, so it is a big adjustment, especially for a high school kid. And they always say, "Oh, my high school coach got on me," and then the first time I chew him pretty good, like, "Whoa, I didn't know it was gonna be like this." But it's part of, you know, it's part of, you know, that's part of a relationship with kids. You know, and when you have 4-year kids. You know, and probably going to touch on some bad things. These kids that bounce around high schools, especially in this little 285 thing up here. I don't know how high
Bring that smoke, Coach. Bring that smoke.
Yeah, I don't know how they do it.
I saw one a few highlights recently. Yeah.
It's tough because, or even bouncing around AAU teams and bouncing around, like those guys aren't going to be loyal to me when they come
Hello.
to me.
No.
You know, 2 years ago I looked at my roster. Every single kid played 4 years at the high school he played at. That was unusual.
Wow.
You know, very unusual. Right now, when it comes down to a kid, if we're recruiting a kid, if a kid's been in somewhere for 4 years, or a kid's been somewhere and bounced around, I'm going to take the 4-year kid because he's going to be with me for 4 years. Because he knows loyalty and commitment.
Commitment, yeah.
And look, there are some reasons that kids should transfer. I've seen situations where it makes 100% sense. You know, tough situation, home, basketball-wise. But them ones that, man.
Just every year you see them on a different team. It's
Every recruiting period, they're on a different team.
Hey,
They got
free agency.
they
They
got
out of there.
uniforms than anybody can see in the state, you know.
Got tons of gear.
Yeah. Tons of different colored shoes.
Everything. Get from everybody. Yeah.
We've defined the free agency periods, Coach. After the first live period weekend.
Yes.
it's
yeah.
AAU free
Oh, that phone be
agency.
off the hook.
We now have high school free agency, Coach.
Mid-season.
After Christmas.
After Christmas,
That's
Christmas
crazy.
break,
Yeah.
we're seeing mid-season transfers.
I
to
never
high
heard.
school.
That's crazy.
I've never seen
Yeah,
anything
that's
like
new
that.
to
This
me.
is the first year has really just exploded like that.
Has it gone crazy?
Yeah.
Yes, it
We
has.
see it in Augusta on middle school kids now because you can play. Now, this is Chad Wilbury. You can play in Columbia County in the fall in basketball. You go to Richmond County, you can play basketball in the spring because they play basketball different times.
Oh, wow.
So I've seen kids play basketball in Columbia County and then go switch and play in Richmond County for their 7th or 8th. Come on, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
For what?
Nah.
You know,
And you're in
and
middle school.
I don't want to go too much on it. 97% of the kids who play high school basketball don't play at Division I, 2, or 3 level. Man,
Thanks.
so you're bouncing around for something that probably is not going to
Not
happen
gonna
for
happen.
you. You know,
Not in your favor.
Wow, we got live periods in middle school now.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
jumping. It's jumping.
Yep.
Coach, I'm going to toss you into the middle, in the middle of a back and forth we've been having between Georgia basketball and the DMV basketball.
Talking to the wrong guy now. I'm going to side with DMV. But go ahead. All right. I'm with you over here.
Look, we already dropping Juan Dixon.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You're not going. We're not. I'm not gonna let you
500
win
wins,
this
brother. 500 wins.
Yeah.
WCAC.
Yeah.
No, let.
Yeah.
I'm going to let Bryce
Listen to
cook.
her.
I'm going to let him cook.
I done my time. I done my part. We got to let him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pass the ball back.
Okay. First, Coach.
All right.
Bryce said something that had us all confused.
What I say?
Why is Baltimore not
Not
the
so the
DMV?
DMV. Probably because Bryce will know this. It used to be that Baltimore City schools didn't even play in the state championships.
Nah, I didn't
They
know
ran.
that.
So Baltimore City schools did not play in the Maryland High School Association.
okay.
Just like New York City schools don't play in the New York City, or not, didn't used to play in the New York High School Association. So if you think about that, it would be like the Atlanta City schools not playing in the state tournament. So Baltimore was his own entity.
His own entity,
for
exactly.
a long, long time.
Yeah.
I mean, and I want to say it is still no. They do play now. They're all together now. Now the private schools are a little different up here. Down here, the private schools mix with the public schools.
Yeah.
They
Up
don't
there,
do that.
that's not
Yeah.
happening.
Not going for
Talking
it.
about ruthless recruiting going on up there. Now.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
ruthless.
Oh,
What's
yeah.
going on
It's
in
tough. It's tough.
WCAC and all
Yeah, it's
that.
tough.
Yeah, they got transfer rules within that league. So yeah.
The WCAC is probably one of the, if not the best league in the country, though, I would say, right? It's got to be high school.
It's going to be up there, yes.
Yeah, it's
you
gotta
know,
be
now
up
you
there.
saw it this weekend when Paul VI beat Ronnie James' team.
Exactly.
DeMatha
Got
beat,
DeMatha.
you know. You got to remember, WCAC, if you don't start in school there, you can't go in there, okay? Now, you can't move from O'Connell to DeMatha. There's a transfer rule. They have a transfer policy within that league. So if you don't, now you can go from a public school into there, but you
Right,
can't
right.
bounce around WCAC. They don't
WCAC.
allow that. No, it's worse than college. Once you go, now you can leave the WCAC because what happens a lot, especially up there, kids or parents think, well, you go to DeMatha or O'Connell, you get a scholarship. Well, then you're going to go and sit on the bench.
Right.
And my brother's a benefit right now. He's got a freshman from Paul VI. He couldn't play at Paul VI, but he's
Yeah.
one of my brother's better players, you know?
Yeah.
So he's holding off the Wolves right now because he's got a public school kid who's been with him for 2 years.
Yeah.
At the WCAC is at every single game. Talking to the mom. Hey, you need to leave this place.
It's
Wow.
It's killer now. It's killer now.
Basketball in that area
Yeah,
is. You think it's bad here? No, it's tough up there, dude.
Well, this is the only thing
Not
I'm
bad,
saying about
but I mean,
your
it's tough.
and
Like,
you're going to agree with this. All right.
the recruiting.
I'm going to talk
is-
about your DMV, difference between DMV and Georgia. Right? See if I'm correct in this. When a guard from the D.C. area sees a trap, he's backing up with it.
Correct.
Guard in the South is trying to split it every
Split it,
time.
and they're gonna fall probably.
Okay. No, if they're talented enough, they're going to do it.
It's not a lot of them though. Yeah.
So that's the
Correct.
biggest difference. The guard play. The guards see things and they back up because from a young age.
We're taught that.
They've taught. They're definitely taught.
I was taught
play
how
off
to-
2 feet and all that
Yeah,
stuff. That's
taught.
ingrained in 6th grade. Yes.
I was taught how to retreat dribble in that area.
Yes.
They don't do that here.
Yep.
Georgia Man Up teaches retreat dribbles. We work on it every practice.
There you go.
That pull back,
Thank you.
Pull
I
back.
could pull back that dribble so quick, and then
Chin on
cross
the
over,
shoulder.
catch it with the left, right, and I'm gone.
Chin
Out
on
of
the
there.
shoulder. We teach that at Georgia Man
Nah.
Up. Thank you. Coach, we talk about DMV basketball. You mentioned DeMatha. In the first episode, we did mention the passing of Morgan Wooten. But outside of saying that, hey, that was Morgan Wooten helped teach me basketball, purchasing those DVDs, we didn't really get a insight into what he means to the basketball community and to that area. If you could help us understand
That's a hard man.
Morgan Wooten.
Okay. There's a great book, Capital Basketball, that just came out recently, and it's about DC area basketball from the 40s on. But Morgan Wooten was the first one when he played Lou Alcindor. Then he wasn't Creepo Abdul-Jabbar, you know. Lou Alcindor, when they played, that was the first national high school game. That was the first game of national significance. And his coaching tree is off the charts. You know, Mike Bray at Notre Dame. So ironically, when he passed was the day after I was in Baltimore recruiting, and the whole Washington Post was dedicated not so much to people that he coached, but people he coached against or played against. It wasn't just Adrian Dantley talking. It was other people that played at St. John's and Carroll High School and Gonzaga talking about the influence Coach Wooten had. He started a basketball camp with no kids. It's unbelievable basketball camp. His son Joe is at O'Connell High School coaching as well. Now it was John Wooden-esque especially for the DC area. I mean, he was my high school coach is a great high school coach named Red Jenkins. Red was always a little jealous of Morgan because Morgan had all the publicity. But no, unbelievable. This is when I knew basketball changed. I don't know the exact year when Devin Wright Nelson, guy, played for me. When you played at DeMatha, you were never to miss a summer league game.
Yeah.
You did not miss a summer league game if you were on DeMatha's team. So when you went to see DeMatha play, there was no, hey, you're going to play AAU this week. No, we got a high school game in the summer.
Right.
And Bryce knows exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so then I remember going up there, I'm going, wow, DeMatha doesn't have everybody here. Well, that was toward the end of Coach Wooten's career. Like, you couldn't get a hold of it. Now the summer leagues now are adjusted up there to not hit the recruiting periods. That would have never happened when Coach Wooten. And when I say everybody's there, everybody's standing up, clapping, cheering. But not with just DeMatha, but O'Connell, St. John's the same way. You did not miss a summer league game.
Games. Yeah.
Now, and I'd go back farther. Those games were played at Jelliff outdoor. Okay,
Correct.
so you were an outdoor court playing games. Now,
Indeed.
fortunately, you got to move into High Point High School, which is up there in the DC area where games are indoor. So no, you didn't. That era is gone. That era is never coming back.
Man, how would I love to see an outdoor high school game?
Joe-
You know, I thought about that last night when we were at Willard. Like, man, I would love to see Willard Milton outside under the lights.
In the summer.
We played
Yeah,
outside. We played outside, man. that's like what we did.
Well,
I played outside.
Yeah.
Like in that area though, like that was just it was just a big like.
Well, you never
What's
could
the
get in a gym.
chances of
Yeah, couldn't get
GHSA
in.
let-
No, it was never.
Not even in June, Coach?
I don't even think parents would let their kids play outside like that.
Oh, man, that would be dope. In the summer, in the evaluation period, to let them play outside.
Yeah, too hot.
At night.
we were going to. We would go when I was in high school. We would pile in the van. I went to 5-star. I go to spend a week on 5-star, and I'm playing outside. And my dad's like, "You better be ready, boy. It's gonna be hot.
Yep.
And don't wear no black socks.
Yep.
You outside. I'm outside. You outside all day, but you working on your game. Like the details, the ins and outs, your triple threat, your sweep through, whatever you working on everything. And we come back down, we going to the
playing on double rims.
shoot, man.
Shot had to be
Yeah,
good.
good. Yeah.
And I think that's part of the reason why, like I watched Paul VI and all those schools, and then even the AAU, the team takeovers and stuff like that. The guard play is just on another level to me, from the up north kids or whatever you want to call it to down here. I think that's part of the reason why they learn the game. Like they learned it from a younger age. They going outside. They outside all day. They work on the game all day long.
As we talk about that, and Bryce mentions the fundamentals, we talked about your point guard from Baltimore, who I also think is great. Like, kid's incredible. He does simple things that even though I attend other college games, the other guys don't do. If one of his teammates makes a shot twice in a row, that third time he comes down, that kid getting the ball.
Yep.
It never fails.
Man,
I never saw
that.
him not do that.
Yeah.
It's amazes me that I watch basketball and you can have one of your teammates make 2 shots and they don't get the ball the next time down.
No, they won't even think twice.
Right. I said that also at Willie. Like, come on. Anyway, but Coach, you also have a lot of success with international kids.
Yep.
What is it with those kids?
Yeah,
that you see
well, this is a good. Okay, so America is the only place, well, now Canada, that you can combine university and sport. Okay, so when you're playing overseas, if you're playing for your club team, you're not enrolled in university because you're with your team. So I get my numbers correct. 6'4", only 1% of the American population is over 6'4".
Right.
Well, you go to a high school game, you don't see guys 6'6", 6'7". I mean, you do up here, obviously,
One.
some size.
Right.
But you're going to see a lot of 6'2", 6'3" post players. So in order for us at Division II level to find size, we also have to go, as we say, across the pond, to get them. And I've had players from 5 different continents. I haven't had one from Asia, and I don't think I ever had one from Antarctica. Okay, but I've had every single continent. I've had 5 players. I think it's from 33 countries, 5 continents, and they're very appreciative of American education too. In my life, I've only had one bad international student. Okay, he just didn't want to be in school, but he wanted to play basketball. But all the other guys, they're serious about their education. It's a unique thing. Now, it's a hit or miss sometimes. Obviously nowadays you can do things online and video. For us at our level, we've got to survive to find size.
Yeah.
You start really looking at some programs. Why is this kid there? Well, because it's so hard to find size, especially in the States. So, I've never been adverse to taking an international player. I guess our leading scorer is from Brazil. One of our other, you don't count Puerto Rico because it's a Commonwealth of the United States. We have come Puerto Rico. Our player last year is from England. I've had All-Americans from Australia. It's just, I don't want to say, now everybody's going over there now. It's a whole lot more than it was before. I will tell you a story. This is years ago. My assistant was from Australia, so he said, hey, you got to go to this under 19. It was in Tasmania, okay? He said, well, first off, the gyms are air conditioned over there. Well, first off, July is not, it's winter time over there, okay? So you're in a hoodie with the hood up because there's no heat in those gyms either. And I'm sitting there with the assistant from Washington State. And he said, what do you think of that kid? I go, he's pretty good. He said, I think I can get one like that in America. I said, yeah, you probably could. Washington State, you can get a kid from LA. It was Matthew Dellavedova.
Oh,
Exactly what it was. Yep, Matthew Dellavedova. And I'll never forget because I was like, that's the kid I saw when I was freezing in Tasmania. I was freezing. I had gloves on, but it was Matthew Dellavedova. It sure enough was. And you think about it, he went to St. Mary's, and I think he's still in the league, if I'm not mistaken. He's still getting a contract.
Bucks, I think.
And what's amazing is, I do remember this, and I'm saying it was cold in the gym. It was cold. The beauty of this was the kids were wearing like what you wear to come out of a bath, like on the bench and had towels over their legs. 2 things I will never forget: how cold it was. Not one kid complained, and not one parent complained. The whole time. And this thing was this was the 19 under national or 17 under national championship for the country. Nobody's complaining. You're playing in Tasmania, which is a little tiny part of Australia, ain't part of it, but nobody's complaining. Cold in the gym, you can see your breath. Now they're all over in there playing. So I come out of that. They're playing with the 24-second shot clock. Okay? Because at 14 years old, you play the 24-second shot clock internationally.
Wow.
I come back and watch the Peach Jam. Best players in the world. And the ball's not moving. because guys are pounding it.
Pounding it.
So one of the people why are international guys skilled? Because at 14 years old, the ball's being pitched ahead to them. If you're 6'7", 6'8", because there's a shot clock. All right, so you have to be more skilled. You have to pass and dribble. That's why you see those guys like why are they so skilled? Because the ball has to move.
They gotta shoot it.
You're watching international kids team play with it, and they're playing a lot faster than watching takeover play the Memphis team. But you know, the shot clock has something to do with it. But they're used to moving the basketball because they have to. Because you can't ball dominant when there's a 24-second clock, especially. You know, Australia doesn't have, they have good players, they don't have NBA guys out all the time. So those two things I do remember about seeing the game differently.
So does Georgia High School need a shot clock?
Well, okay. Yes and no. I'm going to tell you why. You have a hard enough time getting a person to do the book, right?
Facts.
That's reliable, okay? So now you got to find somebody to do the book, clock, and a shot clock that's reliable.
That's tough.
I think so.
And work and operate it the right way.
Yeah, and you got to get it operated the right way.
Go back to 2, let that third person do
the shot clock. Exactly right. There we go. We revolutionized the game. No, I think if you're going to talk about teaching the game, the ball has to move. You know, now it's an adjustment for guys to go to college a little bit, but you know nowadays with AAU circuit they're playing with, guys are playing with shot clocks, a lot of things. But it is. It
would help.
It would help. It wouldn't hurt. And people say it would force the kids to become more skilled at a younger age because when you're getting them the skill level, as you know. Dribbling, passing is not what it used to be. So, yeah.
Coach, let me ask this. And it wasn't a planned question, but the rules of college basketball. Do you think college basketball needs to move to quarters? Does it matter?
Well,
do you think that changes?
I think it's going to happen. And I don't.
Oh, really?
I think because we're the only place that plays with halves.
Yes.
Only place that plays halves. Women, youth. AAU, nobody plays halves, It'll speed the game up because in the women's game at 5 fouls, you shoot 2. And then they wipe it off and go to second quarter at 5 fouls. So we'll speed up the game. They've got the shot clock down to 29 resets now. I think it's coming. I really do. I hope they get you call timeout and get to half court. That would be huge, that happens in the women's game. Years ago, our supervisor official said the college game was always going to be opposite of the NBA game. They didn't want to mirror the NBA game. Well, that's hogwash. That ain't true anymore. That's a bunch of crap. That was sold to us 10 years ago. We want to make the college game different than the NBA game. No, we don't.
No.
Not nowadays. Kids watch NBA basketball. First off, it's on all the time. So I think it's going to happen. I really do. I don't think it'll be bad. It's not.
Does it change anything strategically for you guys as a coach? It's just
it would. No, I'll tell you what it'll do because high school coaches, like my son and brother says, we only deal with end of game, end of clock situation at first half. You deal with it first quarter, second quarter, and third quarter. I hope you're not this way. The sign of a good high school team is when they come down the court and there's 30 seconds to go, that they take the last shot.
Right. Get other team opportunity even shoot.
Right. I've seen plenty of games where there's like 4 possessions. Like, you got the ball. Like, get the last shot. I mean, but that's. Would you agree with that? I mean, some high school coaches, you get it with a minute to go. They're going to hold. They're going to take that shot. That's frustrating. That's where you talk. Shot clock needs to come in
for sure.
But
we had a situation Saturday. I think we had like 50 seconds. One of my coaches, do we want to get the last shot? I said no. We got to let them play with us.
Yep.
And then we'll see.
Because I think sometimes high school coaches are afraid that those guards will turn the ball over anyway. So it's like, well, let me try to keep them in rhythm, and maybe we'll get a bucket and not turn the ball over. Like when we stall and slow them down, they've been playing well for 2.5, 3/4 of the half. If I slow them down, here they go again. They just can't hold the ball. So I think that's a fear that
it's just like coaches talking about, can you advance the ball? Like one of the toughest times as a high school and probably a college coach is, let's say free throw situation, you get a rebound. The ball gets to your best player. Do you call a timeout? Because you're going to have to take it out down there. You're not moving the ball up there half court.
Nope.
So you'd rather have the ball in your guys' hands. The other coach I can't let Dip set a defense up now. Okay, maybe we don't get what we exactly want, but
gotta live with it.
Yeah, you gotta live with it.
Yeah, the other thing is you hear announcers on college games, the 2 for 1.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, sometimes you hear announcers, they're going 2 for 1. No, they don't. They just did it.
They just did it.
Give them guys that much credit. Colleges, we don't want to go I don't want to go 2 for 1. Like, okay, there's 40. ours is 30. We get it with 4. No, I ain't going 2 for 1. Let me get a good shot. Let me get a good shot. Yeah. Let them score. Yeah, exactly. But that's something that it definitely is changing more so than it ever has. When I first got into coaching, that was never addressed. 2 for 1s ever. You know, I always joke. I shouldn't say it, but at Christmas time when the uncles come in town that haven't seen their sons or cousins play. You know, they talk about 2 for 1s, and you got to shoot it. I'm like, who is this guy? But it's the uncle who's in town for the Christmas tournament. Like, you ain't never seen him play, and they're telling the high school coaches what to do.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
That's the only thing bad about going to Christmas tournaments. I can tell you that right. Too many family members that have never seen him play.
For sure. You got to show off.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
Ooh, we saw some of those, but
yes.
Coach, we're going to take a quick breather break. We're going to give about 90 seconds.
All right.
And we're going to come back and get into some of the details of Augusta basketball.
All right. Perfect.
Championship run last year, and then conference championship run last year, and then some of the great players you've had that went on to play in the pros, and the outlooks on the season this year, and some of the great players you have this year.
Yep. All right.
I want to talk about your conference too.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think
Good hell of a conference. Some dudes out there, I can say that now.
Yeah, you got it.
Gauntlet. Y'all keep it locked. Stay with us. We'll be right back. 90 seconds.
You're going to get me in trouble with that.
Love the Game podcast, and we are here with the great Demetrius from Augusta University.
How many name changes you went through?
Quite a few, man.
Yeah.
3 or 4, 3, yeah, 3, 4, yeah, whatever it is. Yep.
They never changed our colors or nothing, did you?
Well, we changed them a navy blue. It's changed, not much. We had a tertiary color. I didn't know what that word meant. That meant third color.
I just learned what tertiary meant. I'm happy that when you said it, I immediately recognized
Third
it,
color, yes.
I've been working on my vocabulary since Lock say I don't pass the ball. I gotta find creative ways to get Lock.
Fern Creek Elementary.
Hey,
High school.
his school is they hooping right now though. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
But
you.
he was giving them crap the other week.
They just
though.
20
Hey,
piece
I
somebody
almost-
last night. Probably who?
Thank you.
I almost lost to George Tech.
Yes, we did.
James Banks.
Coach, one thing.
Georgia Tech is actually pretty. I mean, Georgia Tech is like 2 wings away from being really good.
This is the best team he's ever had.
They're good. I think they need a wing that's like 6'7" that can shoot. They're solid.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm looking at him.
What you got? I
say nothing.
I watched them play Duke.
Dre made a face.
Yeah, he did.
I watched them play Duke. Their point guards are solid.
Jose Alvarado.
Jose's nice. DeVoe had a good game. Barr came off the bench. James Banks had a solid game. Jordan Usher didn't have his best day, but he is solid. They have a couple big dudes.
I mean, a 4.
Correct.
James Banks.
All they need is a wing.
Evan Cole gets lots of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does get a ton of minutes.
Georgia Tech is solid. Anyway,
I said nothing.
They beat NC State.
I said nothing. Florida State got a win yesterday. We talking about
10
ACC.
straight.
Florida State is tough.
10 straight wins. Shout out to the homie CY. CY came on and told us that they were going to be great
Did y'all see that
in
picture from
ACC play.
Justin Young?
And
Like, y'all need to go back and look at that picture.
Oh, Devin Vassell. Yeah, I saw
He
that.
showed the
Yeah,
picture of
yeah,
that
yeah.
team.
He was the smallest one on the team.
The smallest one on that team.
Oh yeah.
Man, that was.
CY also told us that Vassell was going to be great.
A pro.
A
Yeah.
pro.
He
And-
is.
and
He's out of there.
He said, "Y'all gonna think I'm a fortune teller," and you're right, CY. See in the future again. Coach, the first thing I want to ask you about, Coach, is the name Dip. Where does that come from?
Makes no sense. I'm going to tell you and you go, oh, that's it? All right. So I was born in the Canal Zone in Panama in the 60s, 1966. My father was in the military, and we moved to the Washington, D.C. area, and I was called Dippler the Traveler. That's it. I don't know how they came up with it.
That's cool, though.
And I thought I was going to lose it when I went to college, but
Stop.
in the program it said Dip Metris, and then I went to play at Belmont Abbey College, and nickname lasts forever, they say.
It just stuck.
Yep,
You played at Belmont?
yep. For Kevin Eastman and Eddie Payne.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's a whole nother, yes. Kevin Eastman, yes, yes.
Okay.
Boston Celtics.
Okay, I have to pull up something. Before we
You're gonna get me.
to,
I knew this was coming.
yeah.
There's going to be a story behind this, though.
before we get to anything, I've got to pull up a couple of things. You're a fun guy.
Fun guy. Fun guy.
Fun guy.
Oh, Magic City, my day. Yeah. Everybody see that? Man, put my man Kawhi on blast.
Putting him
Like
on
you
blast.
said, everybody knows how great of a personality that you have, and there are 2 sides to Demetrius, even on the floor sometimes. On the floor, for 2 sides. So we have some
Bad
photos and some videos that we want to show the 2 sides of this great legendary coach. Let's go to Dip first.
Baby dip.
Dip, baby, dip.
What are we doing here?
Baby Dip. Watch
Oh,
the
yeah. It was whiteout. It was a whiteout.
White like a snowman.
Yep.
I see.
Yep. Whiteout.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Whiteout.
Yes, sir.
That's smooth.
Hey.
That's a snowman.
Yeah.
Gee,
Yep.
yeah.
Hey,
What year was that?
Rick Pitino's not the only coach that know how to do the whiteout. Rick Pitino not the only coach that know how to do the
I
whiteout.
thought that one was gone, that whiteout one.
You gotta play that white man down.
Yeah.
Coach, let's talk about that. Just the school spirit behind.
Well,
whiteout again.
if you're going to have a whiteout, you got to participate. So I participated.
Man of the people.
So I think we've done it 3 times, and I remember the first time I didn't wear the white shoes because I, had tuxedo shoes are really uncomfortable. But I wore the white shoes, and I actually have a white hat that I didn't wear
Yes.
yet.
Yes.
And if we do a whiteout, I'll have to bring out the white hat as well. I don't know. Yeah.
Invite us.
Yes, that would be white hat with a white cane. That would look good. So, but I don't know. I gotta get.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I might have to I'll do it again.
I
I'll
like
do
it.
anything, man.
I like it.
That's a killer photo.
Coach, we've also seen you having a little fun.
Oh, yeah.
We celebrated you dancing a little bit. But we got another video of you showing off some moves. Coach, let's cut to that
Oh,
video.
my God. Where did we get
Jaguar
that one
matches.
from? Oh, this is the... Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Which one was
Hey. Yeah. There it is. There it is.
You doing to beef it up?
What dance am I doing? I don't even remember.
That look like to beef it up.
Is that what it was, Chad?
That was
Okay,
beef it up
yeah.
then,
I love it.
2013.
I love it.
Yeah, I forgot about
Let's
that
go.
one. Dang.
Coach, this is why I feel like that's so important. I feel like I grew up during the time, and I still idolize and love the guys where college coaches were just giants that were sometimes larger than life. I think when it came down to, I feel like just like anything else, when something gets to be too big, people make it almost like their passion to tear it down. And to a degree, there are some college coaches that forgot that they were people, and there are some people that forgot that college coaches were people. So I love to see that side of coaches, that you don't take yourself too seriously to the point where you're not human anymore, that you're still a mentor and a leader to all those guys, dad to some, uncle to some, brother to others. So I personally love that side of coaching. What do those moments mean to you? Are you just out there having fun? Or
At our level, you got to be a part salesman a little bit. You gotta, play the routine a little bit. So, your players have to see you in your. I am a tough guy to play for. Okay, I'm not ever deny that. But like I always tell them, hey, off the floor, I'm fine. So, because I know the next video is coming. I know that one's coming probably soon. When your school gets behind something, you got to do it. So the Jaguar Madness, that's when we actually consolidated universities and had this beautiful name called Georgia Regents University. So in order to detract attention from that, I said, well, let's have some fun with this. And I remember what was the dance I was trying? I don't know what dance I was trying to do, but they were teaching or something. Whatever it was, I didn't do it well. I can tell you that. So, but they had me practicing at my house. My daughter and her friends and my wife's friends. So you got it. I wear shorts for work, man. I wear sweats. Okay, and I was in graduate school one time. Dr. Chu said to me, "You can't take yourself too seriously." Okay, and I'm very passionate about what I do. I've been very fortunate being a college coach for 30 years, 24, whatever it is, a head coach. And I got a good life, man. I enjoy what I do. If you don't enjoy it, get out of it. And I think you're right. Some people take themselves a little too seriously in the coaching profession. How hard is it to respond to a text?
Right.
Okay.
Exactly, yeah.
And I had a flip phone until 2 years ago, so I'm not in that era of texting. I mentioned earlier, Tommy Amaker is my high school teammate. If I text Tommy, he's going to text me back. He's had a lot of success. He's coached at a high level. And other college coaches I know that have moved up the ladder, they don't forget about people. The ones that are true to the profession don't. And you guys know, you'll see it. Are you the same guy that recruited my guy? So it's about relationships. Recruiting is about relationships, and it's tough, man. Like I think we're in a business where people make a lot of money nowadays. Not so much at our level, but Division I level. And you got to have assassins out there recruiting. I mean, they got to be going after dudes. And in our level, we can be a little more realistic to what we're trying to do. But man, these guys have got to see you. They see me as a father. They see me as a dad. They see me as a coach. They see me as some bad words on occasion, but that's just the reality of what we do. I don't need friends. I got enough friends in my business. I'm your coach first. I'll be a friend to you on personal issues, but when you're coaching, man, I got to coach you up a little bit. So, I think the next one, there's a story behind the next one. I can just tell you that. Okay, how that next one came about.
Let's get to it.
This is a bad one.
Are you talking about
Yeah.
I don't know if they have
I don't have that one. Okay.
They've shown before.
You showed me dancing in the locker room. Okay.
In the locker room. Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
here's the story on it. Tyshawn.
Here
we go. All right. That's the mop. The mop. Okay. So that big joker right there, Tyshawn, We were at a Christmas party. We always have a Christmas party for our team. Unbelievable Christmas party. And he said, Coach, if we win, you're going to do the mop. I had no idea what the mop was, so they started showing me. Well, ironically, the game before, I became the all-time winningest coach in, Augusta State or Augusta University or whatever our name is, history. And you guys don't know this, Marvin Vanover was the coach. Marvin has got a street named after him. In 1969, 1970, Marvin was the first college basketball coach in the state of Georgia to integrate college basketball. You don't know that.
Wow.
Okay. Marvin was the first guy to have African Americans on his team in 1969-70. Well, Marvin was a successful coach. Well, I broke the record and nobody knew about it, except Chad told me. And then one of our other people covers the game. So I said, well, let's celebrate a little bit and have something. Now, I did not wear that coat. It was a Christmas game or PA announcer guy. You got to do this. So I was having fun with it. But looking back on it, Marvin, 40 years ago, was the first one. And I remember hearing stories about when he took his team down to Georgia Southwestern. And they wouldn't play. Okay?
Wow.
So that wasn't that long ago, man. It's 40 years. Okay?
For sure.
Marvin got a street. I'll probably have a urinal named after me in my place or something. But looking back on it, that's kind of why that kind of occurred. But I put myself out there a little bit.
That's amazing.
Yep.
That's amazing. I love that, man. I love that.
I'm not real good at it.
Hey, how's the song go? Mop.
Mop.
Hey, you got me. You got out. Let's go over a few things, man. 72% of your games at Augusta University you have won.
Percentage.
I'm looking at last year's team in the Peach Belt Conference, Coach of the Year. Peach Belt Conference, regular season, and tournament champions. Reached the Sweet 16 in the NCAA tournament. Scrolling down these culture honors, man. You had a guy on your team last year that won Player of the Year. He also won Defensive Player of the Year.
First time ever.
Right. Man,
Unusual.
that's a throwback
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah.
Like I remember a time where the MVP of the league was also talking about NBA guys. The MVP of the league was also first team all defense and
Number 23.
absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely. Multiple coach of the year awards in your league going, even all the way back to your Belmont Abbey days. Coach, what is this? If you have a moment to reflect, I'm sure at some point you have, what has this ride been like over the last 30 years?
Well, yeah, it's a ride. It's still going. Greg Marshall, Wichita State, was my assistant coach my senior year in college, okay? And when he was at Winthrop, I was at Belmont Abbey. Greg had gotten the Winthrop job, and I was at Belmont Abbey. He said to me, just remember, it's not about the X's and O's, it's about the Johnny and Joes, okay? So get some guys that can play, all right? So I've been very, very fortunate to coach some guys that can play. And guys that had successful careers overseas. Garrett played 1 year for the Phoenix Suns. So it's about getting good players. My wife, who's in college administration, always says, you're hired to win games. You can talk about culture, you can talk about GPAs, you're hired to win games, okay? So somewhere in this mix is about winning games. So at the beginning of every season, I start and I look down, not so much counting wins, I count how many games I've coached, okay, as a head coach. And I can't remember, it was like 692 or some number. And I go, man, I've been a head coach 692 times, okay? Man, people don't get to be in college athletic as a head coach ever for that long. So I've been very fortunate. My athletic director at Belmont Abbey, ex-DeMatha guy, played at Campbell University, Dr. Reedy. He stopped coaching and being my athletic director, or women's coach, athletic director. And my current athletic director is a basketball person. So I've been around basketball people as a head coach for 24 years. That's huge in this business. So I'm very fortunate to not so much win games, but the chance to do this, okay? It's work. It's not fun, okay? There are a lot of sleepless nights. You know that. Yeah. You're going to not sleep. But, you get invited to their weddings, okay? It means something to these guys. And like I said, I've got to coach a lot of guys. I'm proud of them. I'm very fortunate to have great assistants. Jamie's up at Buffalo now. Drew's at the Naval Academy. Nate's at UMBC. You know, I got guys from all over the place. Gannon Baker, the guru, he was my very first assistant coach at Belmont Abbey College. And so Gannon's, you know, player development king. And he was with me at Belmont Abbey. He goes to Coastal Carolina. We're having lunch. I said, Gannon, you need to get out of this stuff. You need to be player development. This is kind of before player development was throwing things in the air and bouncing balls off heads. You know, before all that stuff, you know. Gannon's first video, PT is up to me. It's filmed in Belmont Abbey's gym. So I've been fortunate to have great assistants, work for great people. I just love what I do, man. This is fun stuff, you know. And to get the opportunity to keep doing it, it's special. It's special. And I, as frustrated as you get sometimes as a coach, we all get frustrated. You know, it's just part of what we do every day, you know. Like I said, my brother's a high school coach. He won his 500 game. I played for a high school coach who won a bunch of games. My roommate in college has won 2 state championships. So you're around people that are supportive. You know, it's, I don't ever call it a grind, okay? It's not a grind, man. I'm in the gym, okay?
Right.
Grind is laying that pavement outside, okay?
For sure.
But it's not all bells and whistles. We know that.
Right.
But, you know, you get fortunate to have guys move on. It's fun, man. I enjoy what I do.
You brought up 2 things. You brought up Greg Marshall, who you guys played
Oh,
and
yeah.
almost beat.
Yep.
Guys had him down to the wire.
Yep.
I think it ended up being a 4-point game.
I'm going to add the story, okay? So before the game, we get to go out there, and I said, all right, now if I go woof, woof, that means call off the dogs, okay? Because we're at that arena, and if you've never been out there, that's a whole other animal.
For sure.
So we go out there for an exhibition game, and actually Chad, fortunate to travel out there, and I'm like, whoa, what have we got ourselves into? Okay, so I see the referees in the hallway. I said, listen, that dude down there coached me. And if I say woof, woof, he's going to call off the dogs. So they're up 18. Referee, I said, go down and tell Greg, woof, woof. So he goes down and Greg starts laughing. Which we were kind of joking because it was over. It was over. We're shooting a 3 to tie the game with like 1:20 to go. Keyshawn Sherrill went crazy, had 28 points, whatever. Unbelievable. And first thing Greg said to me was, how did you get Keyshawn Sherrill? He's from North Carolina. There's 38 Division I schools up there. I said, man, nobody wanted him. 5'8". 5'8". Guy's playing in Turkey right now. All-time leading scorer, you know, school history, conference history. Nobody wanted him because they looked at his size, you know. So, but no, opportunity to play at Wichita State, oh my goodness. Sold out for Division II, come on. And I get to the airport, you got 3 emails from fans. Coach, I've never seen a performance by a kid like that. And fans don't do that.
No, they don't.
Just love basketball.
I mean, they love basketball. Yeah. That's an understatement. They love basketball.
Yeah.
You don't see that happen. So it was a great experience, and playing South Carolina and playing. I mean, we had a chance because of the relationship my athletic director has, and I've had a few people that we've had an opportunity to play some Division I schools, and it's always fun. But no, it's a blessing to get to do what I get to do.
Absolutely. Close in that game and then actually beat South Carolina. That's when it popped up on my radar, and I started really kind of researching Augusta basketball. Guys beating South Carolina in that 2018 season.
Yep.
Coach, what's the most fun that you've had coaching basketball?
Not doing that dancing. That's a great question. I don't know that. I don't know how to answer that. You know, I got a good life. I mean, I get to coach basketball, man. Like, I don't have any other responsibilities. I don't have to teach. When I first got in coaching at Belmont Abbey, I was the head coach and the compliance coordinator. You know, we had no air conditioning in the gym. You know, I mean, it was not a fun job. You know,
Right.
But now I've got a good situation. I think every day's fun. I mean, I don't really, you know, I'm mad we lost last night, but I mean, we'll get over it. We'll fix it. And it's part of what we do every day. You know, it's not a job, man. This is a vocation for me. And you know, like I said, very fortunate. My daughter's a manager at University of Georgia women's team. They got drubbed today by South Carolina. I saw the score on the way in. My wife's been involved in college. They've been supportive. You know, it's not easy, you know, not being there for some of those things. But no, it's been a great ride. I hope I can keep riding for about 10 more years. And it's time to hand the keys to somebody else.
Coach, we talked about a couple of your players. We talked about Tyshawn Crawford, your big fella from Griffin. We talked about Tyree Myers, your point guard, outstanding point guard. But I wanted to ask you, I couldn't get out of here without asking you about another player that I just personally enjoyed really watching a lot was Rafael Montero. Can you tell us a little bit about this kid?
Can't jump over a beer can. He's our leading scorer. 4.0 student. Went to Division III first. We recruited him and whatever happened. He went to Division III, then went to junior college, Utah State Eastern. Kind of fell through the cracks. We were digging for a guy, had him come in to visit. He can't jump, he can't run. And me and Chad were talking about earlier. We go to South Carolina at 6'4". He turns, shoots a jump hook over a 6'10" guy. I go, uh-oh, if he can do that against them, he's going to be able to do it against anybody. You know, that we call it, when Drew, my assistant, said, what he does will translate, okay?
Right.
So, you know, you see high school kids or junior, any kid, you go, is that going to work when he goes to the next level? Well, this guy is old school Adrian Dantley type post player. We said last year there's no way he's going to get better because he works so hard at it. You know, he's in the gym at 6 o'clock every morning. And he got better because he kept working at it. You know, I walked out the other day, he's working on some fall-away shot, all because he got his shot blocked against one of our teams in our league. And I know he's getting ready to break that out when we play them again. But he's spending time out. He ain't out there joking around. Like, he's got unbelievable talent. I mean, the guy is, unbelievable talent, unbelievable work ethic.
Tape that I saw, he was doing a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Like catching a post, turn face,
Yep.
short
Spinning,
corner
quick
jump
swing,
shots.
high-low passes, and I don't think he's had a dunk in his career, you know, and nothing flashy about it. And talking about an old school player now, and we're fortunate to have him. He's the only senior we got, you know, so he's had to sacrifice a little bit. Big boy Tyson's really going to work right now.
Yeah.
It's hard to play two posts in there. It gets a little crowded in there, so we're playing a little bit of the high post, and we need to make sure we got to get him some touches as well where he's comfortable. But now he's been, like I said, lucky to get him. Lucky.
Another thing, Coach, that I heard that gets said a lot was, I don't want the first shot, I want the best shot. I heard that, and then I started watching more film of you guys play, and it's just the ball movement is incredible. How do you get kids, today's age kids, to really buy into understanding, number one, what does the best shot look like?
Okay, since he's got these shoes on, no, this is because I think about it. I coached a kid named George Johnson. Had, what are those called? Hyper dunks?
Hyper
Or hyper something. And he wore them in a game, okay? And they're
Hyper
really
flights.
ugly. They were
Hyper
gold.
flights.
His were gold. So one day in practice, he stood and framed it like this when somebody didn't throw him the ball. And he stood there. And the shot happened. And that was it. I went crazy on him. That's showing your teammate up, man. Like, you don't do this. Like, I didn't get the ball, and somebody else shot it. I chased him down the court, screaming at him. A lot of bad words, I can tell you that. And I was screaming from one end of the court, yelling at him. I go, this is, what I can't say what I said. My athletic director sitting there on the floor, and he goes, obviously you didn't want to do that, okay? But any type of selfishness, you got to eliminate it right away. You got to, it's, like I said, I grew up in a different era where the ball was moved a little bit. It's hard, but you have to, I would say my only criticism of coaches, I go watch practices all the time, college practice, high school practice. If I could tell high school coaches one thing, tell a kid when they do something right, okay? And I'm jumping guys. But like when our big boy makes a great pass to a guy cutting, great pass, Tyson, great pass. We always saying great pass because people don't notice the great passes because nobody's complimenting them. Right. God forbid you say great screen to somebody or great block out. All right, but the most importantly, if you want to have an unselfish team, you got to always say,
Preach it.
Preach it. Good extra pass. At +1, I guess what they call it nowadays. But we used to call that like passing it. Right. It wasn't +1. Okay, right? I mean, downhill was what is downhill? I mean, we used to call that like,
into the cup.
Into the rim. Yeah. I mean, so like there's a lot of terminology. Like +1, I guess, is the term now. I don't really know the term. Just passing the guy who's open. A good shot to a great shot. And the main thing is, we're a pretty good offensive rebounding team. It's hard to rebound if you don't know when a shot's going up. If a guy, I got one guy right now who's not shooting it, he's one of my better shooters. I'm like, yo, shoot it, because the other dudes are going to go to the glass. So it's something you got to preach, and it's something, being an ex-point guard, I'm always cognizant of it. And but as soon as you see selfishness, you got to eliminate it. I mean, because otherwise it breeds like crazy. I mean, it's bad. It's bad. So.
Well, Coach, I hope we get the opportunity to witness it firsthand.
Oh, yeah.
We've got a game circled that we want to come see.
Speaking in existence.
I'm trying to. Hey, you guys play your rivals, USC Aiken on February the 26th.
That's at our place. Yeah, we go over there Wednesday. Yeah.
At your place, and we definitely. I'm trying to
It'll be
speak
fun.
into existence. I'm trying to get the guys.
It's good to have a rivalry. You know, people,
It is.
you know, and they're 20 miles away. And last year we beat them in our conference tournament, and they're a good team this year, and we beat them in the regional tournament. And you know, they got, I would argue, a little better team than us right now. But it's okay to dislike somebody. I don't mean to be politically correct, but if you're a Redskins fan, you don't like the Cowboys.
I
Okay?
hate the Cowboys.
I mean, the Saints fans and Falcons don't get along.
Yeah.
So you know, it's okay to I don't want to say hate somebody, but it's okay to dislike somebody. And strong dislike. Yeah, hate's a bad word. So no, we're looking forward to it, and they got a really good team, no question.
We want to be the pregame.
Oh, yeah, you got it. We got you, man.
Hey,
Make Chad can make
Turn
anything
up.
happen.
Hey.
Chad can make anything happen.
Make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah.
Hey, Augusta,
Yep.
we coming your way. The love of the game, boys, man. We trying to come your way. Put on a show. Coach, we have a kind of a traditional way we kind of close the show. We got the guys. I'm gonna pass the ball
Points.
Since my guy keep getting on me, I'm gonna pass the ball. I ain't gonna talk about how many times he don't cut a screen, but I'm gonna pass the ball.
We were talking about Huff then.
We always allow
I'm Jason
Locke
Kidd.
to let we always allow Locke to tell us what's going on with South Georgia, and then we get Huff to tell us some of the things that he's learned as a coach. And we get our closing remarks in, Coach. So we hope as a closing remark we get something special that maybe we didn't know about Augusta basketball from you. So Locke, you got the rock. South got something to say.
Well, the first thing, America is something that's still undefeated,
Yeah.
and they have a point guard that coaches need to go see, a point guard named Trey Brownhead. Dre, so who to go ball Huff?
Well, just some things I learned. Number one, you know, we talked about Kobe Bryant in the beginning, and I just kind of added this. I saw this from him, and it said, have a good time. Life is too short to get bogged down and be discouraged. And I think in his unfortunate passing, that's something that we all have to remember. So that's something I learned. In terms of basketball, I'll be remiss if I didn't offer my congratulations for people who didn't see it, for my player, Garrison Powell, scoring over 1,000 points in his career in only his junior season. That happened this past Monday versus Lovett. The second thing, we keep talking about mastering your level. Something else I heard says, if you can't be corrected, you can't be protected. Coach Dip might kind of understand this. We as head coaches try to protect our players so much. But if you can't accept the criticism or correction that we're trying to give you, then we can't protect you from what may come, whether it's how somebody can defend you or whatever the case may be. So we've got to have players that can be corrected. And in my opinion, there was a McDonald's All-American snub, and that's DeJuan Odom. Over 2,000 points in his high school career. Kid's a winner. I don't care he's only going to Xavier. To me, he was a McDonald's All-American snub, in my opinion. And lastly, I got to give a shout out to my former place of employment, Alcorn State. 4 straight wins in conference. They ranked 5th in the nation in three-point shooting percentage and 7th in threes made per game. So that's what I learned.
Nice.
Man, you must have been using that your notebook this week.
I definitely was.
Taking a whole bunch of notes. Let's see.
As we go, Coach, one thing that just hit me. What are your thoughts on the way all the fuss that we make? Like, you being an old school guy, it just hit me. I wonder what your thoughts are on, like, shows like this, the coverage, the job that Chad is doing for Augusta basketball and covering you guys. How vital is that for a program like yours? Or what are your, just your thoughts on
It's
the
absolutely huge. You know, me and Chad were talking on the way up, and I'm sure the Atlanta paper's the same way. They don't cover high school basketball because of deadlines nowadays, and it's almost like the newspaper industry's given up.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, in Birmingham, they don't have the newspaper every day. So, you know, shows like this and what Chad does, when I want to see a score, I go on Chad Cook Twitter to see who won the game last night. You know, because I'm an old guy. Sometimes I go to bed before these games finish out. So, I think it's huge, and it's the new platform. It's just the reality of what we're involved in. And it's the same thing. As a coach, if you're not evolving, you're dying. Okay. Well, same thing in the industry of promoting sports or promoting youth sports or anything. It's got to be something that's done. And I would agree. People check this stuff more than they check a newspaper. I don't. Sadly to say, I was a guy who read the newspaper every day of my life from the time I grew up. Reading box scores, even at Augusta. Yep. You get the newspaper, see how your team did, see you don't even see box scores or standings.
I haven't seen a box score in a long time.
So it's crazy, but everything is accessible, through social media. So no, I think it's unbelievable what you guys did, unbelievable what Chad's done, and everybody's, certain areas. Some people I will say this. Here's my only argument. If somebody tweets a kid's got 20 rebounds, can somebody verify it? Okay?
Yes.
Because, there are more, 21 points, 20 rebounds, 16 assists games
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
We
So
need
I'm not.
verified film.
All right,
Hey,
you know
that's
exactly what I'm
what
talking
That's
about.
what I said yesterday. Remember I said that yesterday? I'm like, it's a lot of 1,000-point scores.
Yeah,
nowadays.
It's
Yeah,
subtle
that's
in there.
I'm
The
not
stats
just saying.
of what's going on here.
Well, I was in a game in
Fabrication
Atlanta.
is a
I was in
lot.
a game in Atlanta last Friday, and my sister said, "Well, how many rebounds did the kid get?" I said, "If he'd a rebound," I said, "Rebound better. I probably would have offered him a scholarship." Next morning, I looked. He had 14 rebounds on Twitter. I'm like, that dog didn't have 14. No way he had 14. He was.
Oh, that's
There's
everywhere.
there's only certain people we retweet.
Okay,
We're not retweeting everybody.
Yeah.
Man.
We know your story, Andre.
It's a couple, I'm just saying it's a couple of big name platforms that are notoriously bad for that. Like, I'm just going to say I went to go watch LaMelo Ball play in person, and
bad basketball
another
anyway.
platform, because our platform would never do this because we stand up like that. Another platform posted videos saying that he took over Atlanta, and I'm like, bro, I didn't even see him cross half court.
He didn't cross half court.
So-
We were at the
Ball
same
is
game.
life.
That, hey man, we don't shout out other platforms on this
Man.
on our show, bro.
No,
We don't
but
Can
give
I
them that
can,
type
can,
of
I
can,
wouldn't know
I, can,
who
I,
said
can I
it.
say that? Can I say that Morehouse beat Clark yesterday too?
Yes, they did.
Morales B. Clark. That's your closing
67,
statement, Bryce?
62, right?
That's all I gotta say.
Yes.
Lay a degree down too.
Oh, there we go, Bryce. I like it.
Hey, okay.
Rapping.
Locke, anything else as we close out, man, as we go through? I pass the ball again.
I don't want it back. I'm going to pass it back.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. There we go. Closing Huff.
It's region tournament time, baby.
100%.
The
It
next
is
time
region.
they're going to hear us is going to be, we're going to know who in that state tournament, right?
Next time you hear us, what is our date?
When is the date?
26?
We will tweet out to you the date of the next show. I believe it's early February, right? The 8th or something like that. We'll tweet it out to you guys.
February 9th.
February 9th.
We'll know who's in that state
We'll
tournament.
know who's in
Oh,
the state
yeah, that's
tournament.
gonna be
You guys will
interesting.
get a show
Right
from
after
us
this
February 9th. Guys, as I close, and we'll have our final closing remarks from Coach Dip. As I close, just remember, man, let's continue on with the Mamba mentality. Let's continue on with the legacy of the great Kobe Bryant. If you are a former player and you have a legacy and you have numbers that you put up and you're a respected name, get up off the couch and do something. Make this game better. Go pour into kids. Find you a camera and pour out videos. Show kids how to study film. Like, train kids. Do something to give back to the basketball community to continue that legacy of both Morgan Wooten to Kobe Bryant. Prayers and well wishes out to the family members of everybody that was impacted by those two tragic losses in our basketball family.
And please check out his book, man.
Yeah.
If you a basketball player as a kid,
Gotta get
you
it.
want to read this book. It will change your whole mentality on how you approach the game.
Yep.
100%. 100%. Coach, you want to close this out?
Now, appreciate it. You guys did a great job. Hopefully, I didn't screw anything up here tonight. But I appreciate you guys having me, and anything I can do to help me, let you know. All right?
Appreciate you.
Hey, Augusta, we headed y'all way, man. We coming to see a win. USC
I-
Aiken.
20.
You in trouble, USC Aiken. We coming to watch a win, buddy. It's the Love of the Game podcast, man. Appreciate y'all kicking it with us. We out.